Well, good morning everybody, it's his grumpiness here. I know I'm standing in front of the National Football Museum in the centre of Manchester, but just waiting for my train because I'm off to the pool today, yes, to Liverpool. And rather big city, as I'm sure I don't need to tell you, and I'm not going to see an awful lot really just in the course of a day, but my purposeful visit is that I've never been to either the Anglican Cathedral, that's the one that's the largest in Britain, in much as it has the highest chancellery, the tallest chancellery of any cathedral in the UK. They sometimes say it's the largest in the UK, and it's the 5th largest in Europe. And then we're off to the Metropolitan Cathedral. That's the Roman Catholic one, which is just a half a mile up the road from that. I've never been in either of them, although I've drove past I don't know how many times. And then if we can manage, we'll go for a wander around the fabulous Three Graces to have a look, and then into the Royal Albert Dock. I've heard, I don't know, I've checked on the internet and can't see that it's there, but I've heard that the Tate Gallery, you remember Sir Henry Tate? We went to his hometown of Chorley not too long ago. Well, rumour has it there's a couple of Dali's on exhibition, so we'll go and have a look. And if not, we'll just have a look at the rest of the Tate in there. The Tat in there. So, see you on the other side. Be good. Yes, according to the legend on Victoria Station, I am indeed in the right place because I can go to Liverpool. But if I change my mind, I can always go to Belgium and get a box of chocolates. Oh dear, I'm going by Transpennine Express, so sadly I won't be able to go do my thing. Well, you can tell we've arrived at Liverpool. There's a nice welcome from Ken Doddle and his tickling stick. How tickled I am. Just want to show you as we exit the station that just look at this in fairness, this particular view. I mean, just look at that, just as you exit the station. Visitors must find it remarkable. Yes, we come out of Liverpool Lime Street Station, and on Lime Street we're confronted by this, which is just truly magnificent, as I think you'll agree. And then straight opposite it, we've got a column there in the distance. Straight opposite is the famous St George's Hall, and it's just absolutely terrific, as you can see. And then if we swing round past this, and of course there's the Radio City Tower. In the distance you can just see the top of the famous Liver building, and then as we pan around we'll come back to this wonderful, just look at this, with this inscription on the top, Antibicus Legavitus Constitution, whatever that means in Latin, and swing around to a view to the old original station building, hotel, and the Empire Theatre, the Empire Strikes Back, is just there in the distance. Oh, I'm like a pig in muck. And there's Prince Albert astride his horse with his late wife in the distance. And then what we'll do is we'll go and see Albert's dock later on. I think that's where he put his iPad, if I'm not mistaken, in the dock, or his phone. We've got some nice lions here guarding the St George's Hall. I presume these are borrowed from Trafalgar Square. No, maybe not. And then in the distance, I'm going to have to show my ignorance. I'm not too sure. I presume that's the art gallery. I'm not too sure, so I apologize for that. And then another little building tucked in the distance. So as you can see, we've just come out the station, absolutely dumbfounded by all this magnificent architecture and buildings, and it just proves that you don't just come to Liverpool to visit your hubcaps. I've been in Liverpool just for what? Well, 10 minutes, and I've already been asked by 3 people as I was looking at my Google Maps where I want to go to. So there you go, you don't get that in other cities. I mean, in London, they just walk over you. We walk on our way, I couldn't resist a quick view of the Crown Hotel. Quite an interesting pub. Some sort of thing in its former glory. And just seeing that, I've never been up the top of it, to be honest. This is the Vines, another interesting looking establishment. And then beside the vines, as we swing down, we've got the icon of Liverpool hotelierization, and that is the famous Britannia. Went there for a conference many moons ago, and the chairman was His Royal Highness Prince Philip, and I was representing Lee's Chamber of Commerce, and he said to me, you don't mind me saying, you've not got a particularly Yorkshire accent, have you? I'll never forget that. Here on the right we've got Lewis's, and of course, with Liverpool being a suburb of Dublin, guess what we found? Yes, the Celtic corner. Yay! Now I know I'm going back a fair number of years, but quite an impressive looking establishment. And I've just seen, although I'm making my way to the Metropolitan Roman Catholic Cathedral, I think I can see the Anglican one there in the distance. He seems to be telling me which way to go above the former Lewis's, complete with dangly bits. I won't go into that in detail. Yes, back to that very impressive pub. And here we are standing in front of, as I say, the famous Adelphi Hotel. Ah, there we go. You pays your money and you make your choice. What a fine building Lewis's was. Well, it still is, but it's not Lewis's anymore. Oh, and I've just seen Chicken Bazooka. Yes, Bazooka, that Veruca. Ah, a magical mystery tour. I wonder why they've called it a magical mystery tour. She loves you, yeah. And the side of the Adelphi Hotel, and we're entering something called Mount Pleasant, and I must be honest, this doesn't look very Mount Pleasanty at all. Very Mount Unpleasant, to be honest, but who am I to criticize? I wonder, did you get a buzz in here? Zzz. Yes, she was a nice girl, but I passed on that particular instruction. Oh, look, the Grand Central Hall. Surrounded by some modern things, which you've only got to look. A nice little gazebo there. Nice little suite of buildings. I see Rebecca Pearson there. She does speech and language therapy. Now, if she's going to stop people in Liverpool saying Tschechen, I'm going to sue her. And that's the MC Academy. Ah, it's Beats, innit? This building looks interesting. Let's have a look at this a bit closer. Ah, it seems to be the former home of the Liverpool Young Men's Christian Association. Lovely building. It all seems to be very trad, old, established Liverpool. And don't forget, as we pan around, we're only really 2 minutes from the city centre. Some of the old Victorian, or is it? Yes, I presume it's Victorian, or maybe on the Edwardian buildings here on Mount Pleasant Street. Ah, here we have Rodney House, which I presume, seeing it's for the students, it's plenty of, hey Rodney, you plonker, in there, no doubt, given the way students go on nowadays. And as we make our way, there's the Anglican Cathedral in the background. If we swing round via Rodney Street, we can see my destination. Just passed by a quick blue plate. You know me and blue plates, almost as bad as my architecture. And that is where he lived. Goodness me, I wonder which was his TV room. Or for that matter, his man cave. Oh, the head office of Feathers. It's not very light, if I say so myself. Ah, this must be the bombed out church that one of the officials from Liverpool said I needed to turn left at. And then we've got the Liverpool Science Park ahead, presumably attached to the university, or maybe not. Ah, it is indeed Liverpool John Moores University and the John Lennon Art and Design Building. And then just opposite, if I swing round rather quickly, interesting looking building over there. And as we walk past the Science Park, we seem to have reached my first destination. And wait for it, the Metropolitan Cathedral. There she blows. And just trusting my memory, opened I think in 1968. It's the country's newest, even with all that gap of years, newest cathedral. It's funny how I always count the steps up trying to reach the magic 39, but that was 58 of them. Well, here we are. This is the inside of the famous Metropolitan Cathedral in Liverpool. As you walk around, it's got lovely little areas of, as you can see here, reconciliation. Little areas where you can have private prayer. And on the walls, we've got the Stations of the Cross, statuettes, and then lovely little alcoves. Nice tapestry on the wall there. Another station up there. And then here we've got another little, well, that's actually an entrance. And then on what I would call the west side, according to my entrance, there's another little area for contemplation and prayer. Another bronze sculpture. And again, as we continue around, another small little chapel for prayer. Let's just swing around and see now what it looks like opposite the way we came in. Very imposing. Some incredible tapestries on the wall. That must be at least 12 foot tall, that one. And underneath it, another little contemplative, can't even say the word, contemplative room for prayer. A little area called Unity. You can see some more of the very large tapestries hanging from the wall. And then we've got a little place here called Remembrance. And then the 6th Station of the Cross, and another little room on the side here with a lovely tapestry on the back wall. And then as we continue, we have come almost full circle now. And another little contemplative room, and that's in memory of Thomas Dorothy Whiteside. And there we go, as we finish our visit, one last view of the cathedral as a home. And as we walk out the door of the Metropolitan Cathedral, there's our second target, the Anglican Cathedral. There's a bit of a view of Liverpool. Let's head on to it. Ah, this is my place. It's a Liverpool Medical Institution. But I've just seen a blue plate, so let's go and have a look at this blue plate. Ah, this fine old building is the medical institution. Let's wander over and have a look at this blue plate. Oh, it just says Liverpool Medical Institution. Well, not twice. Designed by Clark Rampling. Oh, I know his mother Charlotte very well. And just up the road as we make our way from the Met Cathedral is the famous Liverpool Everyman Theatre. And another sweep of old Victorian or Georgian buildings. I incorrectly said Edwardian buildings earlier on, but the ones I thought were Edwardian were much older. And it seems that in Casa, Mea Casa, Tussa Casa, whatever they call it, it seems that the Shrewsbury 24 campaign met here. Jolly good too. And I've just spied the Philharmonic dining rooms. I presume they do tubas of ice cream. Tubas? Yeah, oh, never mind. And this gentleman is Hugh Stowell Brown. He laboured for 39 years, it seems. Jolly good man too. A little more detail of the Philharmonic. I still do wonder if they do tubas of ice cream. I know I just said that joke a minute ago. And lovely detail, fine building. And then as we nip round the corner, we'll just go around the corner because I've just spied the, here we are, the School for the Blind in a lovely building. And then the Philharmonic pub, as we look up Hope Street, gives way to the famous Art Deco Liverpool Philharmonic Hall. I do have to be honest, I know I talk to anybody, talk the hind legs off a donkey me at times, but it's so lovely the way just total strangers engage with you, have a chat. Well, I mean, they're strangers in as much as they are Liverpudlians, but they'll all have a chat and regale you and tell you a few stories. So I might be home by perhaps maybe Friday week at this rate. Another fine building, and for anybody who lives in London, it means that I've disputed the fact that the London carriage doesn't work, because according to this building, the London carriage works. Poor Derek Warlock, captured in stone. And opposite him is David Shepherd, also captured in stone. I'm just going to flutter by Papillon on the way to the cathedral. Flutter by, do you get it? Oh, please yourselves. And there we are, it's coming into view. The Anglican Cathedral with the Hanneman building. It was just called Hammond, but then somebody coughed and it went Hanneman. Another fine old building. Well, we've got the Dog and Collar, and seeing as it's wedged in between the two cathedrals, I think that's very unfair. At least have the courtesy to call him the priest or the father and collar. And another interesting building there behind the walls. That's the Liverpool Institute and School of Art, next to another fine building whose name I hope to find out as I pass by. Oh, I'm so busy looking up that I haven't looked down. And these are interesting sculptures. Suitcases that seem to have been made out of stone. And it seems to be a little bit of a quiz, presumably for the kids, to find a case history. I thought I was the one with the corny jokes around here. It must all be attached to the Liverpool Institute. Fine building it is too. Bit of a carbuncle on the ends, so that's the carbuncle taken care of. And just behind me here, on this stretch of Georgian buildings, is a blue plate to a gentleman called John Swire and his son John Samuel Swire. And yes, it seems that they were ship owners. It seems that's the LIPA, I presume Liverpool Institute Sixth Form College. And as we go beside the college, there she blows, the magnificent Anglican Cathedral. I've always worked out that where the coaches are parked means the public access entrance must be nearby, because they don't like taking tourists too much out of the way and making them work too hard to get to where they've got to go to. And as we pass by these coaches on our way to the cathedral, you can just see in the distance there the Liver building, the twin towers of the Liver building. This is called Mornington Terrace. I never could quite get my head around Mornington Crescent, the quiz on Radio 4. This is just beside the cathedral, but I can't find a plate telling me what it's all about. I'll just move back so you can get a view of the cathedral, although the sun is beating down in this direction. There she blows. And we've arrived. Imposing or what? This is, as they say, a structure and a half. Getting an ache in my back doing this. Entranced, yes, I think I probably will be. In we go. Well, first view of the tallest chancellery in the UK and the 5th tallest in the world is just awe-inspiring. Now, there's really only one thing I can say about this, and that is it is ridiculously awe-inspiring. It is enormous. It's just unbelievable. Crikey. The size of it, it's just... Don't get dizzy as you look at my video. Little balcony for Rapunzel, as usual. How did they build these edifices without JCBs and all that? Goodness me. Breath taken away, all in one sentence. Just have to look up again. It's just, oh heavens. Goodness me. And this is the center with the bits you always get off the side that, well, in my ignorant speak, form the cross design that most religious cathedrals and churches, well, of course, churches and cathedrals are bound to be religious. And there's some flag details. And the organ pipes up there on both sides. And here to the left. And again, facing front, and to the left of facing front. And then let's have a spin around and see the whole. Sorry if I'm making you dizzy, but this is just, you cannot believe how tall this is. It's just incredible. Just can't take it all in, to be honest. And some painting on the background there, and that's where presumably the choir sits on one side, and they also sit on the other. And you can see more pipe and organ works up there. And then we're just approaching the main altar, and the work on that is just, oh, it's absolutely stunning. I know I say that everywhere I go, but this is just mind-bending. It is fabulous. And there's the full sweep of the cathedral. I've purposely kept some people in so you can see exactly how big this particular cathedral is. And again, I'm so busy looking up that I missed the detail of the wonderful marble flooring. And here we have a little area dedicated to those who have fallen in the wars. I hope you can see through there. This one is the page of the King's Liverpool Regiment. Sorry about the reflections. And then a sort of semi-artwork on the floor with names of people who have fallen. I presume that's in the more recent conflicts. And some flags, and again, lovely detail at the window. And just a little bit more detail. This is the, well, it's not the hallway, but it's the walkway that's behind the main part of the church, which is, sorry, cathedral, which is here. And again, that another magnificent window. I mean, the height of it, I don't know, it must be 50 feet high, maybe even more. And the pulpit, just so we can give the Bishop of Liverpool a plug. He's not there, but it's just very difficult to give you an idea or a sense of just how tall or how high this is. You really have to see it for yourself. Here on the wall of the walls as you walk out the cathedral, it's Elizabeth and Philip in a love knot. I didn't realise the cathedral was only 1908. Never realised it was so young. Well, just one heck of an absolutely fascinating visit as I work my way back up from the bowels of the cathedral to wend my way down now to the centre of the city. See what else we can find. We'll head off and have a look at Albert Dock and also the Three Graces by the Merseyside.